The sun blazed over Kaduna's military barracks as the sound of marching boots echoed through the parade ground. Major Musa Danjuma, dressed in a crisp green uniform, stood motionless, his chest adorned with shiny medals. Applause erupted from the crowd, yet his eyes were dead, locked on the simple wooden coffin being lowered beside the flagpole. It was his younger brother's coffin, Captain Abbas Danjuma. The same people cheering Musa's heroism had buried Abbas in silence just 3 days earlier, claiming he died in friendly fire during Operation Firestorm in the northeast. But Musa knew the truth, and so did Abbas. Before the last bullet shattered his chest that day, as the parade continued and tears rolled down Mama Danjuma's face. Musa whispered to himself under the roar of the jet fly past, "This is not victory. This is betrayal in uniform." Flashback to 2 years earlier, the Danjuma household in Zaria was full of life. Abbas had just graduated top of his class at the Nigerian Defense Academy. Musa, already a decorated officer, had returned from a mission in Mali. The two brothers shared everything until love came between them. Her name was Zainab, beautiful, fierce, loyal, the daughter of a retired general and Musa's fiancé. But she didn't love Musa. Her heart beat for Abbas, and Musa found out on the day he received his 3rd gallantry medal. What followed was a storm of silence, fake smiles, and tension thick enough to slice with a bayonet. Musa said nothing. Abbas begged for forgiveness. Zainab vanished. Then came the transfer orders. Both brothers were deployed to the northeast, Borno State, where Boko Haram's shadows danced over villages like vultures over corpses. In the Sambisa forest, the air smelled of death and gunpowder. Musa was commander of Echo Battalion. Abbas was second in command. Every night, gunfire echoed like whispers of the dead. But it wasn't the terrorists that haunted Musa. It was his brother's laughter with Zainab that played in his head like a broken record. On the night of the final ambush, Musa received a coded transmission, "Eliminate internal threat." Code, Bravo 2. He decoded it alone in the command tent. It pointed to a betrayal in the ranks, someone feeding intel to insurgents. The suspect, Captain Abbas Danjuma. Musa froze. Was it true, or was this the punishment fate had chosen for his broken heart? By dawn, Abbas was dead, shot in the back during retreat. Official report, friendly fire. Unofficial truth, a commander's silent decision. Now back in Kaduna, Musa is a national hero. He smiles for cameras, kisses babies, and receives medals in glass cases. But at night, he sees Abbas, standing at the foot of his bed, covered in blood, asking the same question, "Why, brother?" Musa begins to unravel. He seeks Zainab but finds only her grave. She had taken her own life weeks after Abbas' death. Mama Danjuma barely speaks to him anymore. The medals feel heavier with each passing day. The respect of a nation means nothing to a man dying inside. The rain poured over Zaria like it was weeping for the dead. Musa stood inside the dusty family compound, staring at Abbas' old wooden locker. It hadn't been opened since the burial. The padlock resisted at first, but Musa broke it with a rusty hammer, trembling as though the ghost of his brother stood behind him. Inside, folded beneath a Quran and a faded photo of Zainab, was a small envelope. The handwriting was unmistakable. "Abbas," it was addressed simply, "to whoever finds this. If I don't make it back." Musa's heart pounded like war drums in his chest. He sank to the floor and read, "If you are reading this, I am likely dead. Not by the enemy's bullet, but by betrayal in green. I have been accused of leaking information to terrorists. I swear by Allah, I have never betrayed Nigeria. Someone is trying to silence me, and I fear I know who. If my own blood is behind this, may God judge between us." To Zainab, "I am sorry. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I should never have loved you. And if love is what killed me, then so be it." To my brother Musa, "If you had anything to do with this, may you never find peace until the truth is known." And if not, find the one who sent that order. Find the real traitor. Set my name free. I was loyal. Even when I was in pain. Even when love made me a fool, Musa sat frozen. The words echoed louder than any battlefield explosion. He remembered the night of the coded order. The name on the transmission had been redacted. He had assumed it came from command. But what if it didn't? Suddenly, a different memory hit him, Brigadier General Husseini. Zainab's father. He had always disapproved of her closeness with Abbas. He'd once warned Musa that some betrayals begin in the bedroom. Could he have forged the transmission? Manipulated Musa into doing the unthinkable? Fueled by guilt and rage, Musa begins investigating. Quietly. Secretly. He fakes sick leave and travels to Abuja to visit an old friend in Army Intelligence, Captain Yakubu. Once their instructor at NDA, Yakubu pulls out the archived communication logs. What he finds chills both men to the bone. The transmission that ordered Abbas' elimination didn't originate from defense headquarters. It was routed through a ghost channel, one used during special ops, often by officers with enough rank to hide their tracks, and the signatory code, GH71, General Husseini. Musa storms out, blood boiling. His hands shake not from fear but fury. He'd killed his brother based on a lie. A jealous father. A decorated monster. A man who'd rather see his daughter in the grave than with a soldier he deemed unworthy. He returns to Zoria and visits Zainab's grave. He weeps like a child, clutching Abbas' letter, whispering, "Forgive me. I should have trusted you." And then, he loads his pistol. The compound of General Husseini sat atop the hills of Abuja, guarded like a fortress. Iron gates. Uniformed guards. Security cameras. Musa parked his car half a kilometer away and approached on foot, wearing civilian clothes, his pistol tucked into the back of his jeans. This wasn't a soldier's visit, it was a brother's reckoning. Inside the compound, the old general was sipping tea on his veranda, dressed in white kaftan, his medals displayed in a glass box behind him. His back was straight, posture firm, a soldier even in retirement. He looked up as Musa stepped in. "You came," the general said calmly. "I was expecting you." Musa didn't sit. He stood at attention, fist clenched. "You sent the Bravo 2 order." The general didn't blink. "I authorized it, yes." "Why?" Musa barked. "Why my brother? Why Abbas?" He was innocent. The general took another sip of tea, because some men are born with weakness in their blood. Abbas was soft. Soft men die in war. Soft men destroy legacies. Soft men steal hearts that don't belong to them. Musa stepped closer. "So you killed him because of Zainab?" A flicker crossed the general's face, anger or guilt, Musa couldn't tell. Zainab was fragile. Her heart couldn't handle betrayal. I warned her. But she loved foolishly. And you, Musa? You were always the obedient one. Musa drew his pistol. His hand trembled. "You made me kill my own brother." The general stood, slowly. "No. I gave you a tool. You chose to use it. That's the price of command." Musa stared at the man, this relic of war, this father of the woman he once loved. His finger tensed on the trigger, but then he heard Abbas' voice in his head, "If you had anything to do with this, may you never find peace until the truth is known." Killing the general wouldn't bring peace. It would only bury the truth deeper. Musa lowered the gun. He stepped back. "I'm not like you," he said. "I will not bury another truth with blood." He turned and walked away as the general's guards rushed in. The old man didn't stop them. 1 month later, a secret file leaked online. It contained communication logs, voice recordings, and Abbas' final letter. Within hours, the entire military hierarchy shook like thunder. General Husseini was summoned before a special tribunal. He retired honorably days later, but the public knew the truth. Musa was arrested for disobeying wartime protocols and withholding classified information, but he welcomed the handcuffs. He didn't want freedom. He wanted justice. He sat in prison for 8 months. And every night, he wrote, the memoir, The Blood on His Medals, was published quietly by a civilian press. It told everything: love, betrayal, war, jealousy, and the price of blind loyalty. Musa refused to attend the launch. He remained in a small village in Gom, teaching orphans, visiting graves, praying for peace. One day, a young soldier knocked on his door, fresh out of training. Sir, I read your story. I want to be a different kind of soldier. Musa smiled weakly. Then don't wear your medals too proudly. Some of them are stained. Years later, a statue was erected in memory of Abbas Danjuma, the soldier who died with honor, not treason. During the unveiling, Musa stood at the back of the crowd, silent, wearing no uniform, no medals, just a plain white robe and a Quran in his hand. The nation had forgotten, but he remembered. As the wind blew gently over the sculpture, a little boy beside him asked, "Who was he, sir?" Musa knelt beside the child and whispered, "He was my brother, and I killed him because I trusted the wrong man." A single tear rolled down Musa's face as the statue of Abbas caught the last light of the sun, forever saluting, forever betrayed, yet finally remembered.